I found a disturbing old video game demo in the corner of the mall. Does anyone recognize this game? Part 3, the final part, authored by Darkly Gathers. My feet clack, clack, clack against the grass tiled floor, and I do not hesitate when I reach the location of the next mirror, on the upper floor and tucked between two empty and vine-entangled shelves. Through the glass I go, and the screen performs its dutiful warp and change, fading to black, then back to its dim and dreary light. Except, it's different in here. It's dark, for sure, but the light comes out in low flashes. Yellows, blues, and reds. I appear to be underground in some kind of, I don't know, scientific research center or something. And there are blinking dials and discs and lights embedded in the walls, but I am not able to interact with any of it. My feet tap against the floor as I explore this mysterious place, though I am disturbed to find that the sounds of the tapping continue for a little longer each time after I have stopped moving. I try to keep my nerves steady and push away the thought that there might be something in here with me. I know what I wished for earlier. For something or someone to interact with. But I take it back now. I take it back as I consider being stalked in the shadows of this underground lair. I spend a long time down here in the dark, between the mysterious discs and dials. The lights are rhythmic, soothing even, despite the potential threat that lurks in the darkness. I discover a console in what I presume to be the area's center. It forms part of a round circle of discs, and I'm able to select a series of lights on the console's surface. Every time I try, however, I'm eventually met with a short and frustrating sound effect, and the text box message. You have forgotten us. Over and over, no matter what I select. You have forgotten us. I fume with frustration, unsure what to do. And to my cold dismay, I hear the footsteps come again. Not just an echo of my own, though, this time, as I've been standing stock still. This time, the sound comes of its own accord, and a stab of fear strikes into me. Come on, I mutter desperately. What do I do here? But I work it out, even as I ask aloud my question. The rhythmic flashing of the lights. It's rhythmic for a reason. It's a pattern. So I run to the edge of the room and watch the lights flash again, from red, then to yellow, back to red, and then to blue, back through yellow, blue, and red. Right, okay. I try it. I run back to the console and try to repeat this pattern. I fail the first time, and the second time too, as the footsteps grow louder and louder. There's lots of them now. They are running in the darkness. Come on. I try again with shaking hands, repeating the sequence of lights. Tap, tap, tap. Red to yellow, to red, to blue. And to my relief, this time, it works. There is a bright flash and the sound of exploding sparks. For a second, the entire complex is illuminated in a bright and blinding light, and I swear I can see a series of somethings all around, blurs between the discs and dials. But the flash only lasts for a second before I am plunged into total darkness. My heart beats fast, but I stay stock still, and the darkness eventually disappears. The desks and computer equipment have vanished. Ahead is a lone, large screen. Jacob, it reads, in a bright yellow. Explorer 99 speaks. His words appear in text across the bottom of the screen. It is so easy to forget. I am sorry. I run towards the screen and pass right through it as if it were made of water. The lights fade to dark, and when they return, I am again standing back in the overgrown building, the game's central hub. The mirror is broken, and the placard beneath, once selected, reads, "In memory of the lights of our world, to the patterns they created with us the darkness, we must do our best to remember. We take a time to reflect." A newfound sense of urgency has overcome me. I race through this ruined place, though I cannot help but think now on what it might have once have been, on what might have lined these shelves, on whom might have frequented here in its prime. I locate the final mirror at the very back of the building and semi-obscured by blocky, pixelated leaves, and I jump through into the unknown. The landscape, when it reveals itself, is red, deep, thick scarlet. The sky is black. Steam bursts from vents all across the alien ground. I seem to take damage if I walk through them and wince in pain as the edges of my vision flash and blur. The sound of a high-pitched, whistling tone plays steadily in the distance, loud and shrill, and it sets me desperately on edge. This place is the worst. This is the worst of them. The floor is littered with weapons. Guns mostly. They are oversized, and many are unusual colors. Dark purples, red. A few are even gold, but I cannot pick any of them up, or interact with any of them in any way. There's a rifle, a sniper, an RPG, but I cannot take any of them for myself. I am scared now. The sense of impending terror that has steadily built over the course of the game is strong now. I can feel the end, and I fear it. Why did we become separated? Explorer 99 asks in his text box. It was so much better before. I have no answer for him. I just keep running and dodging as best I can. Enormous chains have begun to slither and strike out across the far landscape, unreachable, but ominous in the background. 99's speed has dropped significantly. I can no longer run, and it becomes harder to avoid the steam from the earthly vents. Come on, I mutter through clenched teeth. Come on, 99. The ground has begun to shake. It splits and cracks, and I am met with a cutscene. I stare up to the black sky overhead as the camera shifts. An enormous, blood-stained rope, writhing and uncoiling like a monstrous snake, rises up from the ground, towering tall above us. The end of it freeze and splits to create a split open and worm-like mouth. It roars down at us as sweat clams my hands. It is horrific. The cutscene ends, and the rope strikes down towards us. I slam 99 out of the way, though his speed is still massively slowed. To my dismay, as the disorienting music increases in speed and pitch, I realize I am still unable to pick up any of the weapons. I try them all as I dodge the strikes of the rope, but nothing seems to work. I am unable to interact with the world around me in the way that I want to. The edges of the world have begun to crack and split and fall away into nothing. 99, I murmur with iron focus. You have to want to pick them up. I can't make it work without you. You need to want to pick up the weapon. Please. As the cracks strike out across the ground towards us, as a chorus of other instruments join the music of our world, Explorer 99 starts to glow, faintly at first, but noticeably. My choices make no difference, appears in 99's text box. Of course they do, I reply as the rope strikes down again and again. One of them lands, and our vision is blurred with a burst of pain. Please, they do. I'm only a kid. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. But words come to me. Something I plead will resonate. They would remember you, 99, and they live through you now. If you want them to live on, then you have to live too. And the aura that surrounds Explorer 99 grows brighter. The angle of the camera changes, and a multitude of select icons burst into life around the weapons with a melodious series of sound effects. With a desperate exclamation of relief, I sprint to the nearest and enormous silver over-the-shoulder thing and equip it with a satisfying click. Taking aim, I bring it around, and with a burst of colourful fire, the screen is rocked with a shake, and the colossal, twisted rope is struck and knocked back with a wailing screech. I run around, jumping from place to place, firing again and again until the rope can do nothing but burn. And at last, it releases one final, furious scream and sizzles into black dust. Then, nothingness. I try to move, but I'm frozen in place. Catching my breath, I look around, tensed, waiting for something to happen next. And we watched. Explorer 99 and I, as a lone white sun rises slowly above the horizon. The black of the sky starts to shimmer and glitch from black into shards of grey, and then silver, with the occasional flash of blue and yellow. Explorer 99 heads towards it. Not I. I am not in control of his movements as he races across the red plains, but together we reach a lone door, standing by itself in the middle of the path. An option appears to us. Enter? Yes. No. The yes is currently highlighted, but it needs me to select it. So, select it I do. I tap the button, and I watch as 99 takes hold of the handle. Light spills from behind the door, but I cannot see where it leads. 99 steps through, and he vanishes from sight. The screen fades to black. I am not returned to the overgrown ruins this time. I do not get given a chance to see the cracked mirror, nor to read what was written on the accompanying placard. Instead, a simple line of text appears in the center of the screen. I am overcome with a rush of conflicting emotion as I read it through. Explorer 99 has been found. Thank you for playing. Game over. And that's it. I realize I am staring back into my own face. My reflection in the dark screen of the monitor. I see my hands shaking on the controller. I don't even know what to feel. So I just stand there in silence and read the words over and over again. I tap one of the buttons and just look about, jump out of my skin in terror as I feel a hand grab my shoulder. I shout out loud in alarm and look back, staring back into the face of my own mum. There you are, Jacob, she laughs, already hurrying me away from the game and back through the store. We were looking for you. It's about to close, you know. Come along now. I try to splutter out a response, but I don't know what to say. There are too many thoughts whirling around in my head. From somewhere nearby, I hear the creak and gentle thud of door opening and closing. I see the light above the games section flicker as I am about to be encouraged around a corner. And I see one last thing, too. Only for a second. But I'm convinced. I'm convinced by what I see. The cardboard cutout to the right of the demo game. The character has changed. I'm certain. The face is different. The hair, he has been drawn in such a way that it looks like he's bursting out of the cardboard itself. And above it, in large, bold text, it reads, Explorer 98. And it vanishes from view. I still dream of that game sometimes, you know, and the toy store too. I looked for them. I really did, but I never found them again. My parents took me back to what they thought was the same place in response to my pleading. But it wasn't the same place. It was different. I don't know the whole story. I'm sorry if I've raised more questions than answers. But please, promise me, if you ever find such a game on your travels, please just play it the best that you can. They need our help. I'm sure of it.